everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail with all the necessary and appropriate backlash. But this time, we're doing something a little different. We're doing Plotty Time watches. PCU.
Whoa. That one egg was 40 eggs?
That's a big fucking pile of garbage.
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
You gotta get 4 balls or something?
Dick piercings?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon.
It's still sexy. How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
just kill some random dude.
If you want cheese, you get a milk.
You're waiting for pig.
No, I can hate on it. It sucked. Boners.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Plotty Time, and we wanted to extend our vacation an extra week. So we're talking about the movie PCU, which we've referenced, I don't know,
Couple times.
12,000? 1,200? At least.
Check the wiki.
Yeah,
the wiki.
it's on there.
This movie was released April 29th, 1994, directed by Hart Bochner, I believe is how you pronounce his last name.
All right, what was the number one song in 1994?
Oh, I can double check. I will look that up because it's going to be a fucking banger, I bet.
94.
What? When was it? 94 September? I'll say
August?
Even Flow.
Or sorry, April 29th, 1994.
April 29th? Oh, no, I'll say Smells Like Teen Spirit.
You think?
No, it has to be before then.
Yeah.
Maybe Heart-Shaped Box? That April.
Yeah.
Ooh, April 94 was the time, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'll say Spoon. No, Spoon Man's not.
Oh, that'd be
not,
gross.
It's not. We're not in the right headspace, guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Salt and Pepper.
Oh, that sounds like the right headspace for me.
Closer. Warmer.
En Vogue.
Boys to Men.
No, this artist got canceled hard and is in prison and beat on a bunch of people.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
It's R. Kelly. The song is Bump and Grind.
There ain't nothing wrong. With
Well,
yeah.
there's something wrong with his bump and grind.
I guess Bump and Grind in general is fine, but not the way R. Kelly does it.
Yeah.
That's why he wrote the song. He was trying to convince us.
That's what he was. It was a cry for help the whole time, guys.
It was.
So this movie, directed by Hart Bochner, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Fun fact, he is also an actor. His directing credits only have a handful of like TV and stuff. But he did make one other movie I remember very fondly from this era, High School High. Do you guys remember that one?
No.
With fucking,
Oh, is that the comedy?
that's the comedy with John Lovitz.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
It was like a mockery of higher learning or whatever.
It was like a mockery of higher learning and, oh God, Dangerous Minds.
Dangerous Minds, yeah. The one with Coolio.
But it had
was it
John
like a
Lovitz in
scary
it.
movie kind of?
Kind of.
Yeah, like it was a farcical comedy type thing.
Tia Carrere?
I have no idea. It's from the people who made The Naked Gun, so that's kind of the world we're living in here.
Yeah.
Makee Pfeiffer's in it.
Just they can never catch that magic of the Naked Gun again.
Guillermo Diaz.
No. Yeah, I don't know if it holds up because we're it's in some dangerous territory here.
Yeah, it is.
The only part I remember about that movie is when he brought his very first original pressing of the record for Rhinestone Cowboy. And they play it at the school dance and start scratching it up and destroying it. And just looking
Never
at it
saw
more.
the movie, never even heard of it, I don't think.
Man, yeah, I could see how you missed it. You were watching a lot of Mad TV back then, so I get it.
No, I wasn't. I hate Mad TV.
You were watching a lot of The State back then,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I could see how you
It's
missed it.
fucking.
But anyway,
I'm looking at the credits and it just says Shauna Robinson, little slut.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the kind of
Yeah,
shit.
okay. I see where it's coming from.
but also the guy directed another one of his personal films. I guess it's called Just Add Water. It had Dylan Walsh, Jonah Hill, Danny DeVito, Melissa McCarthy. I've never seen it. I don't really care. The reason I'm bringing him up and focusing on this is he's an actor. Also, he's been in a ton more things he's acted in than directed. His most famous role ever was Ellis from Die Hard.
Don't know what you're talking about.
No Die Hard. Oh my God, he's the coked up dude that's like Hans, Bubby.
Dude, I don't know.
I make $1
okay.
million deals for breakfast. He's like that scumbag guy.
Yeah. All right.
We meet his character when John McClane, the police officer, is getting introduced by Takagi. They're trying to find Holly. They go into her office, and he's just doing rails off the desk at the Christmas party.
I thought this was a PCU thing, not a...
We're getting to it.
Okay.
I'm just shocked. That was such a big thing for me. It hurts. I got to recalibrate.
I just didn't know who directed this. So.
Anyways, we're talking about the movie PCU. All right. Short story. It's about a high school senior who visits a college for the weekend and stays in the wildest house on campus. That's the 2-sentence synopsis for it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
The movie actually sat on the shelf for a year after it was filmed.
Yeah, I was going to say they referenced 1993 in it a couple times.
Yeah, so I guess it was shot in probably late 92, early 93 for a 93 release, and then didn't get released until 1994, which happens for movies for one reason or another. Apparently this was supposed to be a hard R movie, and a lot of stuff had to come out from the studio.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's not even close to R.
Yeah, it's like PG-13 because of a single butt.
No, apparently there was a lot more swearing, a lot more nudity. There was like one butt in this.
Yeah.
Naked guy.
Man, I saw this movie so much because it was on fucking Comedy Central back in the day.
It's such a good movie.
Like all the time, though. It was like after school, you come home and there used to be a movie on.
It was either this or Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Back in those days. I mean, I liked the movie. I remember liking it. It was neat to revisit it. We start basically with our main character. He's kind of like our catalyst.
Yeah, I'd call him the main character.
Tom Lawrence. Yeah, he's top billed.
Prefrosh?
Yeah.
I didn't know he had another name.
Oh, yeah.
For our international listeners, a pre-frosh is a pre-freshman or someone who's not yet going to college.
Yeah.
You didn't know
University,
he had a name?
sorry.
No.
Especially like, yeah, I fucking met Tom.
Oh, that's right. That's a great line, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of great lines in this movie.
I even wrote that down because that line makes me laugh every time.
I saw you guys met Tom. Yeah, I fucking met Tom. Yeah, we're going to go through Tom's journey. I also love how we're being gifted Tom as the main character, and like, I don't know, 30% into the movie, we just leave him for like
a good 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's gone for a while.
Yeah, we don't even care. We're just following other storylines here. But the game, man, look at this. Shift gears. All right, so it starts with him, Tom, coming in on the bus. We get his intro. He walks into this place. It's called the Pit. Used to be a fraternity, but fraternities are now banned at this university. But groups of like-minded students kind of do their own underground sort of fraternity thing here, right?
Never seen this happen in real life.
No, it's not a thing.
No. So he goes in this house. He gets taken down to his, I guess, guardian for this weekend, a guy by the name of Draws, who he gives a real name here. What, Jeremy Andrews or something like that?
Andrews, yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to like show him around campus for the weekend.
Yeah, James Andrews. Apparently this is a program you sign up for. I'm going to assume you get like credits or paid or something.
I think it's just
to see if you want to go there. Like
the person
tour?
who's touring, doing the tour
host.
guide, the host. There you go.
Yeah, so they are supposed to show you around, show you the university. You make a decision if you want to go there, whatever. But we meet Jeremy Piven, who's playing James Andrews, who I think he does this role great. I think he's super charming, and this character is like, they're so angry at everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work unless they're super charming.
Yeah. It's his 7th year there.
Yeah.
His final year.
Coffee now.
Coffee.
I think he was 29 when they shot this.
He's
and he
already
looks like
balding.
36.
Yeah.
He looks younger in Entourage. Anyway.
Dude, he has more hair now.
He sure does. And we meet him. We meet one of their other roommates, Gutter, who's played by Jon Favreau.
Such a great... My favorite line is always when Gutter's on thing, like, aren't you a music major?
Yeah.
And he knows fucking nothing about music at all. They can't, like, that's a running gag where they have like 3 or 4 times in the movie where they're like, don't you know about the Clash? And he's like, apparently his version of a music major is to jump around in his room and I guess mosh in it.
Yeah.
He's going to see Merkins later in the day.
Merkins, they're opening for Frog and Toad's a friend.
Yeah.
I got to psych up for the show.
Yeah, and this is the don't wear the shirt to the band you're going to see.
Yeah, I say that line all the time.
I don't think I've ever done that now because of this movie. Probably.
I know. I didn't know that was like, I saw this movie probably before or right around when I was starting to go to shows. And the second I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I can't be that guy.
Yeah. Every time I went to a show, I'd wear a different band t-shirt from that's not at the show.
And then I'd look at all the people who were wearing the band's t-shirt and be like, what a fucking loser.
Look at that guy.
I know. And why do we do that? Because of this movie. Like, what does this guy fucking know? That's how we lived our high school lives. Yeah, absolutely.
Still do that.
I remember, like, my friends and I, we made a we made a truce, and it was like if you bought the shirt there and you had to throw it on or you're going to lose it, then it was acceptable.
That's fine.
But you can't show up with the shirt of the band you're going to see. Like what? Like a fan?
Yeah, that's wild.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then they continued the tour of meeting all the members of the Pit.
Oh, yeah?
We got
Mills.
some of the, we got the band.
Yep.
Which is Deej, Raji, Cecilia, and Katie.
Yep.
Dude, Raji, I didn't even know till this viewing that he was the guy from American Psycho. He's one of the guys.
Yeah.
I've seen him in so many other things.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, he was in Face Off. But I remember him mostly, like nowadays, I remember him as Gavin Belson from Silicon Valley.
Oh, yeah. I didn't put that together till just now.
Now you know how I feel every episode when there's fucking name-based puns.
Yeah.
Then you meet Pigman, who's just watching TV the entire movie.
Well, he's got doing his thesis.
He's doing his thesis, the Kane Hackman theory.
And what exactly is the Kane Hackman theory,
That no
Dr.
matter
Syintist?
what time of day, any day of the week, you can see either a Michael Caine or Gene Hackman movie.
And then Thomas with the completely appropriate response is, that's his thesis?
And the great line, I use it all the time.
Yep.
You can major in Game Boy if you know how to bullshit.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It was a great line. This movie was written very well. It was very tight.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, it is a short movie. I think it only comes in at like 85 minutes. Like it's not long.
It's like that, yeah.
Yeah, 82, I think. But whatever.
And there's so many scenes, and this is a thing I always bitch about when we have like movies that feel like they're way longer than they actually are. It's because they have too many scenes jumped in.
Right.
But this one, like the action never stops. It keeps moving the entire time.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
And then we move right into Thomas getting escorted around campus by Draws, and he gives them like the rundown. And these are the different groups in the college, like the Womanists, who are the I guess militant feminist group.
Yeah. They're all kind of like caricatures of cliques of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he
they're
goes to the
supposed be-
feminists here.
Yeah.
Like, is Sam in there? In there?
Yeah. It's supposed to be caricatures. It's supposed to be like the most extreme version of all of these things.
Yeah.
And I love that. What does he say? Like, can you tell her that
Mr. Pokey
okay. Yeah. He runs into this group of militant feminists, the Womanists. He sees a woman he used to date in the middle, and he wants to go talk to her and say hi, but they surround her. And that's where he's like, tell her that Mr. Pokey stopped by, and they say, you participated in a phallus naming?
I was a freshman.
Yeah, first off, they're like, you dated a white male?
It's pretty great. And then we meet the cause heads.
Oh, shit.
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam is, I guess, the head of the cause head.
Yeah, she's kind of
She's the one that
voice.
had the horn.
Yeah.
Right? So she's in charge of the cause heads. And they play the cause heads as people who deal with, I guess, whatever random ecological disaster or natural disaster, whatever is the big thing, that's the new cause.
Yeah, they say it's a new cause every week.
Like
This week
before
it's-
it was killing the whales, this week it's meat.
Yeah, what happened to the ozone layer? That was last week.
Yeah, one of the guy has a picket sign. He turns it around. He's like, oh, shit, because it says no nukes or something.
Yeah, so they're played as like basically an amorphous blob of just people out there just to
Outrage,
protest.
baiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's before the internet, so.
And then this is where we get the meat shower scene where the boys sneak in to the hall. They grab a whole bunch of meat and throw it down from a what they call as a turret and chucks it down onto all the protesters. And this fires them up.
Yeah. This is where you see the sign, make love, not meatloaf.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones for sure.
So
and
they all
basically.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, so they all throw this meat down, and it's a pre-frage, Draws, both. What's the other guys?
Both the Daves.
Both the Daves are there.
Mills.
Yeah, and Mills, and they all throw the meat down, and then they just run away. And this is where the pre-frage starts his.
This is the chase. This is where it begins.
Yeah, he starts getting chased by everybody here.
Yeah, and this is a common theme as he runs through the entire rest of the movie. But right now it's the cause heads, and when he turned the corner, he ran into a group like I don't know, what do we call them?
I want to say not Black Panthers, but
No, they're kind of like
militant African.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, there's probably a real name for this that we don't know because we're 4 middle-aged white dudes.
Or 3 of them, actually.
Jesus. Wow. Well, I was talking about our producer, Long Island Sal. We hired him as a producer. He's not. Don't get on the mic. All right, he's not going to get on it.
All right.
He only sings. He's really shy otherwise. But yeah, so he runs into them like by accident. He's running away and hits them, and I guess that's enough for them to be like, "We're going to chase down this guy and kill him."
Yeah. So now he's got the cause heads and them after him.
Yep. Poor guy. Poor Tom.
We cut to a scene where Moonbeam and all of her cohorts are filling out paper complaints, and this is where we meet the late, the great Jessica Walter.
President Garcia Thompson.
Yes. As President Garcia Thompson, and she's like, hey, fill out all those complaint forms. We get enough of them. Maybe we can kick these guys out. And everyone's like, yeah, absolutely. These guys suck.
Dude, I'm so stupid. I just realized that that's Jessica Walter after you said that.
Really?
I was like, no shit. She was younger then, but not much, but damn.
Yeah. And we also meet one of our antagonists in the movie, David Spade, playing Rand McPherson. And I mean, the smarmy...
He plays it so well.
He really does.
Dickhead short dude, he just nails.
Super preppy.
Yes, super preppy.
Yeah, the president calls him Republican. She just calls him Republican.
Yeah, but they're like...
Reaganite, she calls them.
Yeah, like Reaganite Republican, like really hardline Republicans before that was even a thing. Well, I guess it was always a thing, but you get it.
He'd be a MAGA now.
Mm-hmm.
Then Thomas is going through. He shakes the first group, and he finds himself in the middle of a building in the computer lab. We're close to the end of the year, so all these people are sitting in there. The lab is packed. Everyone's working on their theses. He trips over a fucking bunch of cables and knocks out every computer.
Dude,
so
I was in college like 3 years after this movie. I don't remember there ever being like tons of cables on the ground just running to computers.
Well, did you have dot matrix printer signs up too?
But I guess what we get from here is that he deleted all of them. Yep. So now he has a whole nother group of people chasing him down, the computer nerds, I called them.
Well, they're all writing their theses.
Yeah.
So now we got President Garcia Thompson visiting the pit folks. And she's like, hey, your house, you need to pay your damage bill for the semester, which I guess is a thing. Okay. It's up to $7,500, and you got to pay by Monday, or the house will be repossessed.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but I guess in 93 is probably a lot of money.
Oh, when you're in college,
yeah,
I'd be like, there's no way for me to legally get $7,500.
So how are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Well, they decide after all the ideas, they were going to do some. What was the line he says later? He's like, we were going to rob a bank, but we don't have ski masks.
Yeah.
Rob a 7-Eleven.
And here he's like,
that's right.
We can try and throw a party, or we can get jobs.
And they all decide to throw a party.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But it also has another great line I want to highlight where he's like, we're going to do what we used to do every Saturday night. And then Cecilia says, they confiscated the altar draws. I'm just like, that's fucking great. So as we cut back to the pre-frost, Thomas running around and he gets knocked the fuck out by a wooden door that just swings open and hits him right in the face. He goes down. Somebody we don't know drags him into the inside, and the group runs by. So Thomas is knocked out, but at least he's getting some kind of breather.
Yeah. And he also, for the party, they all have their roles you got to talk about, too. Because the Dave and Days are supposed to put up flyers. The band's going to play, and they got to come up with a name.
Gutters on beer.
Yep.
And then what else do we got?
The seniors are going to the intramural game.
Yes, they're going to the game.
And Katie has to go get all the people.
Yeah, because she's a freshman. She's got to round up 2,000 people.
I feel like there were more jobs here, but I guess that was it. That they're going to play the band. Gutter's going to go get beer. They're going to the game. This whole thing should work itself out pretty easy. It's a party. How hard can it be to throw?
It's college. You can easily throw a party.
Yeah, but Gutter's got to go talk to his friends.
Yeah.
Mersh and Jerrytown.
Yeah, he's got to be like, hey, I got the show tonight, but I got to go get beer. I might be late for my ride. And he goes to Mersh and Jerrytown, and they're like, no, we can't wait. Like,
it's like the Grandmaster of Funk descends upon the city.
But you hate punk.
Funk, man.
Aren't you a music major?
That's Jake Busey,
Jake
right?
Busey.
Yeah.
Crushing this guy.
He's great in everything, dude.
He really is. He was great as the voice of the radio DJ.
Yeah.
And, man, Spec Ops: The Line, he was great as the ghost in The Frighteners, which was a couple years after this.
Yeah, wild.
He's always a pleasure. Anyway, So this is also where we get the great line where he's like, well, what should I do? And he's like, take a bong hit.
Yeah, one little binger, brighten up your day.
Just one, and then I gotta go.
So it's assumed that he takes the bong hit. Yeah, for reasons we'll find later. And apparently when I was reading about this, this scene here was meant to be much, much longer. This was a fight between the director and the MPAA over the scene because this was supposed to establish why Mersh and Cosmo and Jerrytown were so high when they went and played the feminists in the Frisbee game.
Yeah. Well, we knew they were fucking smoking. What more do you need to know? Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got it. But apparently they went a lot more into their characters, and they just got, in the final edit reduced to a bunch of hippie stoners because the MPAA didn't want all the drug use stuff in there.
Dude, I'd love to see it revisited, Mersh and Jerrytown.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just the dudes that make like fucking Ben and Jerry's now.
Yeah, right.
That'd be a story. So, apparently the director, Hart Bachner, called one of his best friends, a guy by the name of Ben Stiller.
Mm.
He had just finished directing Reality Bites, and that had a similar problem where they had a stoner scene, but the MPAA let that one go through. So the director was like, hey, what the fuck? Why is that fine, but my scene isn't fine? And then the MPAA stated, and I quote, the rules are different for every movie.
Oh, jerks.
Yeah, we kind of know that now.
Yeah. Man, what a scumbag organization. So I thought that was an interesting piece of trivia. Yeah. And then we get to one of the better scenes where the Pre-Frosh meets David Spade and his group of Republicans, I guess.
Yep, they're underground frat.
Yeah, balls and shaft.
Yeah, so they're more of the traditional 50s style frat, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you can say.
But I mean, we get the whole scene where David Spade has to do all the keywords and answer all the questions.
Oh, it's so good. That's why I know what a blucher is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. If you showed me 10 shoes, I don't think I could pick out the blucher.
But I know it's a casual shoe for yachting.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, this is all great. And especially when he asks him the question, he's like, who could it be?
Yeah.
Who else could it be but me? Come on. And he answers him anyway. And just that little moment where he gets down the steps, he's like a head shorter than the dude that made him wait at the door. And then he steps up another step and then goes, don't ever make me wait out there.
Yeah.
Like just that little moment was fantastic.
That was good.
And they're basically, this group does not like the Pit. They don't like these people at all, mostly because they're poor.
The Pit used to be their frat.
Yeah.
Yes, their house was the Pit, their fraternity house.
But now they're underground because frats are illegal.
I don't know how this happened where this whole fancy frat house went from I guess at some point sanctioned fraternity, they lost the house and it went to a bunch of slackers.
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
Whatever, let's go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So David Spade wants the Pit to throw this party, and the plan basically for them is it'll be so offensive, so filled with complaints that they'll just get kicked out of school. So he's all on board with this.
Yeah, it's basically his master plan to get them kicked out.
Makes sense.
And he doesn't have to do anything. So it's he's really, really nailing this. We cut back to the band trying to decide a name, which
Oedipus and the Marmot Boys.
Yeah, Oedipus and the Mama's Boys, I think, is my favorite. Nagahide Windpipe.
I like that one too.
And then fucking, who was it? Deej, who just pitches my Johnson. It's 12 inches long. And then everybody pauses and they're like, not really a band name. I was like, oh, okay. The Days are out there putting up flyers. They tried to put one on a tree. Moonbeam stops them, and they just give up and throw the rest of the flyers on the ground. So they
got
like
one
none.
on the tree.
Yeah, they got one on the tree.
That was it. And then we quickly head to the Frisbee game, and probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when we get the flashback of what it was like for David Spade and Piven to be roommates back when they were freshmen.
It was hell.
Yeah, you find out they were freshman roommates, and
total nightmare.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, he's like, basically the bit is, if you guys haven't seen it out there, his friend asking Draws like, oh my God, that guy's a scumbag. That must have been awful. You flash back and Draws is a complete fucking psychopath. And David Spade's just trying to sleep. And he's like, go to sleep. He's screaming at him, making out with some chick. Like,
yeah.
pouring liquor or whatever on his face while he has his headgear on. There's also a part in the scene where Jeremy Piven almost punctured a lung when he jumped onto a dresser to like freak out and throw everything around. There's this really awkward moment where he like
falls,
clearly slips and falls.
Yeah.
And then like reaches back at his back and then continues with the scene. And that's where he almost like really injured himself.
I was really good that they kept that in because it looked fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like jumped on a dresser filled with glass and just like fucking freaks out. It was a great freak out for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, that fucking scene is hilarious. All right. We get back to the game after this flashback. The stoners bring in Blotter, which is
the
a
stoners
dog
versus the feminists. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, sorry. Stoners versus the feminists. A couple of great bits in here about the stoners being super high and not seeing the frisbee. They're getting crushed. And this is where Thomas stumbles upon the game and then gets chased again by the huge angry crowd, and fucking Draws is like, I know that guy.
He accidentally
he
snags
catches the frisbee
man.
and runs away. That weasel snagged the bee.
So he's got the womenist now and the stoner guys after him.
I don't think the stoners are going after him.
But he's got all the other people too, and the people with their theses and the cause heads.
So yeah, Thomas is just making more enemies here.
Yeah.
And we get to a scene where Gutter is walking into town, seemingly extremely stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And then an older woman walks up to him and goes, "Excuse me, can you blow me where the Pampers is?" He's like, "What?"
He makes it sound like a little scared dog. He's like,
Will you blow me where the Pampers is?
And then it turns out she goes, "Can you show me where the campus is?" And he points behind him, and she just like, "Fucking whatever."
And then he goes, "She knows."
She knows. So he's way too stoned. He's like, I got to take a minute. So he gets into like an alcove, sits down, has an amazing dream. Apparently,
This is great.
Gutter's anxiety dreams are him testifying about past marijuana use in front of Congress.
Yeah, it's set like the Clinton impeachments.
Yeah. I love when they have the witnesses of
Family.
Mersh and Jerry Todd.
He took one of the biggest bong rips ever.
I didn't exhale.
Oh, works for me.
And then he wakes up. It's way too fucking late. He runs. He's like, oh, shit, the beer. He runs to the store. And whatever state this is fictionally taking place in, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Filmed in Canada, actually, Toronto. But it takes place in Connecticut. They said, no, can't buy booze after 8. Connecticut blue laws.
8:00. I missed the...
Oh, he missed his ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gutter really fucked up here. He has no way to get to the show. He missed his ride. He's got no beer. Man, Gutter had a bad one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cut to
but
a party.
Then we move on. And it gets back to the house, and Jeremy Piven Draws and Mulaney are like, hey, let's, we hear people in here. They open up the door. There's fucking nobody there. Because Raji and Deej accidentally electrocuted themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's because Pigman had to get up because the fuse blew and his TV went out.
Yeah, and he can't. He's in the middle of his thesis.
Yeah, and he set it up, and they went to play their instruments and blew up.
Yeah, and you also missed the part here where there's like a short part here where they show Tom and he's getting harassed by some rednecks. It's like, look, it's a college boy, so they start chasing him too.
Yeah, Tom is not having a great day. Like, he's getting a workout in. Mm-hmm. But he's running all over campus and hiding from everybody.
Right.
So the pre-frosh, Thomas is still around. The crowds are still looking for him. And then he's hiding under a stairwell while everybody passes. And this is a moment where there's 2 old dudes from the university who are like, Trustees. I swear to God.
Yeah, board of trustees, yeah.
The board of trustees, like, that fucking lady, if she screws up one more thing, like, she's out of here. And the guy's like, don't worry, she's going to hang herself.
Yeah. They're trying to find out that they want to get rid of Garcia Thompson as the president.
Yeah, they hate her.
Yeah,
they just need her to screw up.
There's they're at this fancy party. They were at this fancy party. They were unhappy with it. They were like, we got to talk. And there's this big bicentennial ceremony tomorrow for the university. And so they're like, if she fucks this up, I swear to God. So Tom heard this. That's going to help him out later. And this is the great moment where Jeremy Piven comes back and they're like, Cecilia's like, I think Reggie and Deej may be dead.
There's no
like,
party.
Gutter's not here, so there's no beer. The Daves never put out the flyers, so there's no people, and Reggie and Deej might be dead.
Yeah, the instruments are toast, so there's no band.
Wait, there's no beer?
I'm like, where the fuck's Gutter? Probably picking his nose somewhere in a parking lot, and then they cut to him in a parking lot somewhere picking his nose.
Yeah.
Good bit.
And then he gives a nice inspirational speech here about how they're going to do this party anyway.
Oh,
absolutely.
Has the plan. The alcohol roundup plan, as I call it.
So they recalibrate this party. They make the new plans. Apparently, there were kegs spotted around the freshman dorms. There's a full fucking bar at this fancy party that President Garcia Thompson and Rand McPherson are at.
Case of Zinfandel somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about a case of Zinfandel. So Jeremy Piven and the Daves like break into David Spade's car. It's a BMW convertible with like the soft top. Mm-hmm. They start going around to start finding stuff.
Right.
Now, then Mulaney gets on the radio. He puts out the word that there's a party and everyone should come down. So basically all the meatheads sitting at the dorm.
Tonight at the pit, everybody gets laid.
Yeah, so all the meatheads at the dorms are in. So they go and they start heading over. It's already being protested by the womanists. They've already showed up and they're picketing.
Yeah, because they saw the flyer and are offended by everybody gets laid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pre-frosh, Tom runs into Katie out of nowhere. They set her up as like his love interest in this.
Yeah.
She was tasked with finding all the people. So she found like 3 Ford exchange students. And he's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. Like this place.
Yeah, he's waiting at a bus station.
Yeah, he's like, this place is awful. Everyone tried to kill me. Sorry, I'm not coming here. And she's like, well, wish you change your mind. And then she gives him a kiss and says goodbye. And he's like, that's it. I know exactly what to do. And this is a big character moment. He decides to miss the bus and help out. And he's like, wait, so you said you need 2,000 people? And then it cuts away.
Mm-hmm. I find it hard to believe there's 2,000 people following him.
Well,
that's a lot of people.
There's a lot, but yeah.
I don't think 2,000 people went through that party in like the, hour and maybe hour and a half it was raging.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, cuts the gutter.
Cuts to gutter. He's in the middle of a parking lot just sitting there. And then a bus rolls up and they're like, hey, do you know how to get back to 85? And he's like, where are you going, Hartford? This was before phones and GPS. And you need to like look at maps or figure out fucking roads.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, it's another 45 minutes to Hartford. And then fucking George Clinton walks out of the bus.
What?
And of course, Gutter doesn't know who he is.
No fucking idea. He calls him Dreads.
The guy with the dreads.
And he's like, well, hey, since you guys aren't going to like make it to the show anyway, can you give me a ride back to my house? And George Clinton's like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, come on, get in here. Let's go.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it. Show's fucked anyway.
Yeah.
So he gets in the bus, the tour bus. They head towards the pit. Then we get some scenes with Draws and the Daves stealing the bar right in front of with the 2 skateboards.
I love that when he's like, he goes up to the guy and he's like, hey, it's a great tie. Is it yours or you borrow it?
It's like, no, it's mine. He's so excited about
what are
it.
those little tiny snails?
Jockeys.
I don't know why I love that scene.
Oh, I love it. He's great in it. He's like, give me a vodka soda. What am I doing? I'm driving. Make it a double. He's
You
just
saved my
running
life. You really did.
so that they could steal the bar behind him. And that's a great scene when they take it and he turns around to get someone else's drink and there's just fucking nothing there. And then they take the CD from the car for Starland Vocal Band, put on Afternoon Delight, lock the doors, and get the fuck out of there.
Genius idea.
And I thought it was very interesting. As Gutter shows up back at the house, the party's starting to kind of come together. And I thought it was an interesting tidbit of information here that P-Funk was not the original choice for the band to play at the party.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, what was?
Nirvana was scripted to play, but they never actually were serious about reaching out to them because they were too expensive, because at this point they were one of the biggest bands in the world.
Oh, yeah, it's 93, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the P-Funk.
Yeah, I think that works pretty well.
I think it works really great. And then the other band that was considered was the Goo Goo Dolls.
What?
But
No,
the director
that would've sucked.
Yeah, the director said they wouldn't be recognized in America because they weren't well known at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's funnier that they took George Clinton because he's obviously recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that works. Because it wouldn't have been funny if it would have been like Kurt Cobain is showing up and then
Yeah.
Gutter was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that's just weird.
And plus there's like 1,000 people in George Clinton's band, so it's even funnier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's like 50 people walk off that bus. I just thought it was great. And then anyway, as Gutter's like, guys, I'm sorry, I fucked it up. George Clinton and the band walk in past Piven and Mulaney, and they're like,
yeah,
just to use the bathroom. And he's like, did you know what you did? He's like, I'm sorry, guys. They're just using the can. They had to explain to Gutter who that is. And they did, and then Jeremy Piven does a great job of convincing them to play the party tonight.
Yeah, this is where he said your line of we were gonna rob a bank, but we didn't have ski masks.
Yeah. So they're like, we gotta throw a rager so we don't get kicked out. It's like, would you play our party? And they're like, man, you're so serious. All right, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no one can be that serious with this.
Just tell everybody to get off the bus. Get off the bus and come in here.
And have a face that ugly and not be serious.
Yeah. Then one of my favorite lines I say all the time at parties comes up soon.
Yeah, so this is the moment. This is when they walk outside and see the crowd of people that Thomas has led to the house. All these angry people that were running after him the entire time. Everyone's just screaming and wants this kid's head. So Jeremy Piven comes out. He's like, okay, I think you guys all met Tom.
Yeah. Fucking met Tom.
He destroyed my thesis. It's like, he stole our disc. And like everyone's airing their grievances. And he goes, okay, I understand. All right, Mills, take him to the basement, beat the shit out of him. And he goes, sorry, kid. And he takes him and pulls him inside. And they're like, all right, great. We took care of it. It's all done. Oh, hey, why? If you guys are already here, like we got George Clinton tuning up on the main stage.
He says, sounds like another white man's lies.
And then you hear him start playing and everyone's like, that does kind of sound like George Clinton.
Maybe we could check it out.
And then one of my favorite lines where they're like, no, can't be him. George Clinton would never play the pit.
I think George Clinton works better too because it's more of a
universally loved.
Yeah.
It's a college band, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a college musician for sure.
Like each group of people there would listen to some George Clinton.
Yeah, you got every one of them.
Well, he's the king of interplanetary funk.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked as well if it was like Nirvana or
yeah. 'Cause there's plenty of people who would have been like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot more sense. I think George Clinton is more, even if you don't like his music or care about it, the man puts on a fucking show.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time.
In college one time, he played. It started at 8:00. I had an 8:00 class the next morning. I left at like 12:30, so I was there for like 4.5 hours. I think George Clinton was only out there for like an hour and a half. The rest of the band just played for the first 3 hours.
Is that Penn State?
Yeah. And then like I got up and went to I had a test, so I had to go to the class the next morning. So I went home, slept, got up, went to the class. My roommate went with me, and I talked to him the next day. He's like, yeah, they were done at like 6:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
They played for like 12 hours.
That's one jam band I could probably enjoy.
It was pretty fun, actually. I had a great time.
Man, that sounds awesome. So the party starts. Well, okay, before we get to that, Jeremy Piven now needs to make it right by the thesis people because their theses are gone.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, you guys follow me. Everybody else line forms to the left. So everyone starts coming in. The party starts going off. Then we do cut back to a scene where he's in the basement. He's kind of like a rabble rouser, a troublemaker, a bad dude on campus. So he has like all kinds of stuff. They established it early in the movie. Like you need bottle rockets, dental dams. What do you need?
Yeah, he has papers, tests.
Yeah.
He's the guy that can get stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So he had a bunch of papers and tests, and he started handing them out. Great lines. This whole scene was written so well.
Sanskrit.
Yeah. A 5,000-year-old dead language.
Latin. It's the best I can do.
Yeah, I don't even remember the first woman who comes on. It's like, what is it?
Yeah, it's like quantum excitation of helium molecules or something like that.
Yeah. In an excited
like,
state.
ooh.
Ooh, it's a scorcher.
Yeah,
like,
phys ed.
Get out. Get out of my room.
Yeah, that's a great scene. We keep going back to the party and seeing it go off. We also see Pigman as he's sitting on the couch.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, a bridge too far. Which is I don't think I've seen A Bridge Too Far, but it's like a star-studded film with like a bunch of big names, and it was the movie where Gene Hackman and Michael Caine were in the film together.
This is closing thesis, man.
This is it.
This is my final argument. I can stop watching TV. And then he immediately goes to crowd surfing. He's so excited he doesn't have to watch TV anymore.
There's so many good parts of this party too. Like where the one guy goes up to the feminist and is like, hey, do you want a brew dog? She's like, no, I don't want your penis.
Yes, we would like a beer.
And she's like, so if you're nice, they give you stuff?
And then like
yeah.
when Mersh and Jerrytown show up and they're like, man, Clinton bailed.
Yeah, Mersh is so good. He's like freaking out. He's like, oh man, bad worst case scenario, man.
We spotted you 20 at the parking lot you never showed.
Hey man, Clinton's here.
you gotta lay off the pipe. George Clinton is here. And then he turns his head and he's like, awesome. Or what is he? I don't remember what he said. Far out, maybe something. He was having a great time now.
But guess what? They raise enough money to pay off their damage bills.
Exactly. And I have another fun piece of trivia here. So George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars who appeared in this film were paid $150,000 for 3 days of work on the set.
3 days. Did they play like an actual concert?
No, it was all like playback. It was all like they would do for a music video.
Yeah, but they could have just played live and just put the track over it. You know what I mean?
Well, they said they nailed each performance through playback perfectly every time because, you know, they're fucking professionals. But the producer of the film, Paul Schiff, he insisted that they show up and appear all 3 days, stating, I'm paying them $150,000. I'm going to get my money's worth.
Yeah, but that's only like $5,000 per day per person. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, that's what they do is perform. It's probably more than they would have got.
Yeah.
At the time from a show. I mean, I don't know if they were playing stadiums at any point, but
Right.
What do I know? So the party's really popping off, and that is when President Garcia Thompson shows up with a whole bunch of what looks like security thugs, and they break up the party.
Yep. And they're like, some bad news, President Garcia Thompson. We raised the money.
Yeah,
So
we're
they're
gonna
like, we
keep
did it. We're keeping the house. We nailed it. And they're like, actually, you actually violated a whole bunch of things. So there were a whole bunch of complaint forms. So we're kicking you off for that. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're all kicked out of school. See you
paid the
later.
money. Thanks for paying the money back. But you're all still kicked out of school.
Funk you very much too.
At least we trashed your Beamer, you screaming preppy asshole.
Dude, when David Spade's character comes in and they're going to move all the shit back in, he talks to Draws and he says, what's the matter, forehead?
Can't wrap your little head around it.
I just love that line. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, David Spade's got some, they dig hard, for sure.
Yeah. And then the Daves are like, well, we could go Waco on him.
Yeah,
and
let's blow up
our
our own house. All the
did they say
explosives are
something like-
confiscated.
Yeah, all the explosives were confiscated. Like that was a real possibility. Like, no, we just don't have explosives. And so Thomas is like, you guys, that can't be it. You can't give up. I heard some guys talking that if she fucks up this thing tomorrow, she's going to be in a world of pain. So we got, and they decide to fight back at the bicentennial event the next
They
day.
figure if they screw up the bicentennial, they can get her ousted and keep the house.
Which, maybe,
Yeah.
like,
I'm sure it takes some paperwork to get kicked out.
Well, if they knew the guys that wanted her gone and they did that and they're like, yo, we got her gone, they'd be like, okay, keep the pit,
Well, as we see coming up, it cuts to their thing. You don't know what the plan is ahead of time, so
Yeah, I know. I
you
like
kind
that.
of watch the plan unfold as they do it. That they have this whole plan of how they're going to get people to retract there. But it's
when they basically at this bicentennial event, Garcia Thompson takes the stage outside. She says the mascot's changing from the offensive Indian to the Port Chester University whooping crane.
yeah.
An endangered species.
Which, another piece of trivia, that's actually an African gray crowned crane that they had in the movie. It was
It's
not
supposed
a
to
whooping
look
crane.
cool, man.
Whoa.
I know. They take the mic, they start ruining the celebration, and the short story is they unite all the students together saying, wasn't that a sweet fucking rager we threw? How about, for once, we just decide we're not going to protest?
Gutter is a tool.
So then they have a huge protest saying that they're not going to protest. I think that's part of the cheeky fun of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I'm pretty sure.
I love when Deej is pretending he's having a seizure.
And he's putting grass in his
Puts
mouth.
grass in his mouth.
Yeah, that's how they get security out of the way. Raji and Deej just put fucking, what are they called?
Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer tabs under their, they're like, I have a seizure, and they start freaking out, and all the security guards are like, oh my God.
on?
Raji just
And
shoving-
Draws and Gutter get up and let the crane out. And
Yeah, because they were the guys. Somehow they got the suits and everything to bring the cage out.
Yeah, they're good at capers. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Even though some may be a little bit more rudimentary, they have the chutzpah to figure these things out.
I do
And then
like,
Rand jumps on stage, tries to scream at them, and this is where they basically turn all these people against Rand McPherson.
yeah, because he kind of goes on a rant about how he's all the other people and blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Yeah, every group he names specifically, and they all suck, and he burns them, and they're like, "What did you say?"
The 9:30 show is completely different from the 7:30 show.
I do love when Draws is gets on the mic and he's like, people getting together, drinking some beers, throwing some meats.
So then on his way out, Thomas kisses Katie as he's leaving for the bus. And he's like, I'll see you guys in the fall. Because the mission is successful. They ruin the bicentennial event. Draws and Samantha decide to get a cup of coffee, maybe have a chat. And that is the end of the film.
Well, that is where you find out.
That was her car.
That was her aunt's BMW that they trashed.
That was a good bit.
Yeah. And then it has a fucking crazy, everything's great 90s sitcom sound score in the back.
And then it shows everybody chasing David Spade like the Prefrage was being chased the whole time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Great film.
That's the movie.
Everybody should go watch it because it's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
It surprisingly holds up for a 93 film.
I was going to say, especially about PC culture.
Yeah.
You think they'd be a little more harsh with it, but it wasn't bad. It holds up.
I mean, I was thinking about this, and I think it holds up for sure. But I think that's a more difficult sell to a younger generation.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they remember the days when the only people yelling were the crazies on both sides. Not the majority of both sides, but crazies. Fanatics. So when they had the cause heads, it was like a send up of these over the top people, which was, it made sense back then, but now it doesn't as much make sense. But we can at least think back to a time when it's like, oh, these guys are they don't really care about one side or the other. They're against Rand McPherson. They call him a fascist and they make like Nazi references to him.
Yeah. Draws does the like Nazi salute as they're walking by at the Frisbee game.
Yeah. So they're definitely on the right side of things, I think, morally speaking.
Yeah.
They're just shit stirrers, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They exist to have a good time, to do capers, they're very selfish because, I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Well, they also don't care about what anybody's doing. Like, it's kind of,
they're
open-minded.
Like, do what you do. It's not our business,
Yeah, I mean, from all I can see, the Daves skate around a lot and do extreme sports shit. The band plays.
They played hockey with an upside-down fucking ashtray in the beginning.
Oh, that's right. Roller hockey in the fucking middle of the thing. I love also the scene when they walk in and Gutter's just firing up steaks in the middle of the room.
That's good.
There's a lot of stuff to like about this movie. I think all the characters were great and well defined.
Yeah. They all stand out in their own, except for the Daves.
Yeah, there's two of a kind.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, the Daves, but what I like about the Daves is they got so little character development, but from what we saw, you know exactly what they were all about. They were just fucking skateboarding weirdos. They were firing, playing roller hockey in the thing. They're just like a weird set of twins.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even in the band, right? They were just
no, they're not in the band.
Other guys in the pit.
Yeah,
they're just there, and I think it's great. Like, we don't need to go into huge backstories for every single person.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, if anybody's been at college, they know people like everybody in this movie, sort of.
Yeah, I don't know about Draws.
Yeah, like an approximation of it.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a great, like, even Cecilia, like, her character was fantastic, and she stayed in that room the entire movie. I don't think she left that room until...
No, she just charged money at the bathroom.
Wasn't Cecilia the one that had to go play interference with the womenist group?
Yeah, she did.
Played bongos.
Yeah, she sang Kumbaya.
They're processing out front. She walks out with bongos, dressed like them, starts singing Kumbaya, and like leads the protest away from the front of the house.
Genius.
It's great. It's written real well. I like the movie. Yeah, I think it holds up. I think it holds up just fine. I think it's a little abrasive, but
yeah. I got a question for you guys. Who's your favorite character?
Oh man,
I mean, the Daves are one character.
Yeah. They're also good.
I know. I was trying to think of one earlier. I was like, I don't know if I can name one.
Gutter's just ridiculous.
I know. I love Mersh too.
And Pigman, even though he doesn't say much, is still pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I love even Pigman gets an arc. Like, he's barely in the fucking movie. He's in there. He must have, and I'm being conservative here, 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, and one of them's like when he sees Katie and Tom kiss at the end, he's like, ooh.
Yeah. And then he's crowd surfing. He's watching TV. I also love the scene in the beginning where it's like, you can sit here with Pigman. He's got you covered on snacks. He just throws a bag at him.
Yeah. Or he's like, when he gets up to change the fuse, he's like, pins and needles.
Yeah, that's like his only solo scene where he's the
Yeah.
only person in the camera.
And he's just fucking ripping shit out of the electrical box to try and get the power back.
Like just running cable. He tried to lick the one.
yeah.
Dude, that was one of those old ass fuse boxes with like the twist in
Yeah.
fuses.
The like light bulb.
Then he's
fuses,
ripping wires out and put them in.
just to get his TV on so he can finish his shit.
And he's rerouting fucking barehanded, not turning anything off. Love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
But I guess, gun to my head. Well, is it favorite main character or favorite secondary
Any
character?
character. I'll go first. I'll say Gutter. Gutter's the best.
I mean, he's great. We learned so much about Gutter in this movie, and he doesn't grow at all. He just is like,
No.
oh, I saved the day. Cool. Like he knows who George Clinton is. I
No,
guess.
because even when he had to introduce them on stage,
Yeah.
he's like, and here's
George
Clinton.
Clinton.
And the Parliament.
And the Parliament Funkadelic. And he does that fucking stage dive at the end and no one catches him.
Gets up, he has like cigarette butts on him and shit. Oh, it's so gross.
Great visual gags in this movie too.
Yeah.
They were really great. Everything, if you look again in the Balls and Shaft room, everything is silly in there. The pit signs like they have hanging up in the pit are all punk rock and ridiculous. They're the punk rock house. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
But man, favorite secondary character? I gotta go with I love the head computer nerd guy.
Oh, he is pretty good too.
Yeah.
He's fucking smoking in the room. He's just like,
He's like smoking just outside the room. He's like,
like,
what do you want?
You can't be in here unless you have a thesis.
don't you doing a thesis? And he's like, don't get your panties in a bunch. And he flicks the cigarette.
He flicks it like perfectly over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Like right past his face, over his shoulder. I thought he was fantastic. I thought everyone who came in this movie was good. Like there was no one who I saw and I'm like, eh. Even the womenists were all great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
a
a
great
tough
one.
question.
But I don't know if it would like, I don't know. Is this like a quintessential 90s movie? Are we only going to get it if we lived through the 90s?
I don't know. We need to find somebody who didn't live through the 90s.
Yeah.
We got to get some Zennial to watch this and report back.
Yeah. If any of you out there are listening to this, go watch it and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love
Put
to
your
hear-
date of birth, social security number, mom's maiden name, and then what your thought about the movie was.
Well, we should say this before we go through and ruin the whole thing.
Probably. But it's still great. The performances are great. The characters are great. The script is tight as hell. It's directed. I thought it was directed really well.
Yeah. It's really good.
It holds my interest every time I see it. I must have seen it 30 times by now.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, for real.
Even the small things like the look on Draws's face after he has a flashback of him in the room as a freshman.
Yeah.
He looks absolutely horrified. It was hell, man. It was hell.
Yeah, he's a complete fucking... Because of course he's the one that's a psychopath. Obviously. Like it's... I mean, and this movie's endlessly quotable.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did we just say quotes when we were in the middle of talking about this?
Every party I'm at, I think I say chips, chips, chips.
Yeah, it's not even any chips. I just want to know how they had that huge party with 2 kegs
I know, and
and a couple liquor bottles.
I know. I always thought about that when I watched it. I was like, whatever. I'll suspend my disbelief for that.
Well, I get it. I'll pay $5 to see George Clinton, even if there's not any booze, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're throwing a party that size and you only have 2 kegs, that is a party that's designed to run out fast and people leave. Like that's really what it is.
Yeah. And they charged at the bathroom door.
I was just gonna say when Gutter takes over and he takes that one guy and throws him against the wall, like 1 or 2.
But it's fucking awesome because you see, as they're talking, you see behind them 2 people like run in real fast so they don't have to pay. It was fucking awesome. Like, there's so much going on in this movie. It's great.
Yeah. You can watch it like 10 times and find new shit all
If you
the
can
time.
find a place to watch it. I couldn't find it on any streaming service, even to buy.
Yeah.
I think you can buy it on Prime. I thought you could.
You
But I
at
know
one
this is
time you
notoriously-
could, but I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean, I remember reading this is notoriously difficult to find. So I don't know if you guys find a DVD copy or
I do have a DVD copy somewhere.
if you need to sail the high seas, if we know what we're talking about. Get your hands on this movie.
If that's what you got to do to watch it, I suggest you do it.
If they're not going to make it available any other way,
Yeah,
what are you supposed
seriously.
to do?
What are you supposed to do?
I do want to mention, I talked about the writing of this several times. There were 2 writers credited on this movie, and they are Adam Leff and Zach Penn.
Okay.
Adam Leff seems to have contributed to a couple stories. This is the only movie he gets a written by credit on, but He came up with the story for Last Action Hero and one of our classics, Biodome.
Oh, I like both those movies.
Yeah, but that's really, he has a couple other credits, but not much else at all. And then if you look at the other writer, Zach Penn, I mean, this guy has gone on to write huge fucking movies.
He's written a lot.
He wrote Free Guy, the one with Ryan Reynolds, the one where he's the NPC. He wrote Ready Player One, the screenplay for it.
like
The
that
Avengers, The Incredible Hulk, X-Men, The Last Stand. I mean, Elektra, Suspect Zero, Behind Enemy Lines, Inspector Gadget.
Let's not.
He's written.
Let's not even get into what Gutter went on to do.
Iron Man.
I mean, Jon Favreau, he went on after this and did Swingers, like right after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
we
good
should do
movie,
that
too.
one.
Yeah.
We should do a watches. That's one of the most painful scenes in the world in that movie.
Oh, what he's called.
Oh, yeah. We won't talk about it until you see the movie. It irks me every time. It just, you feel it in your gut. You're like, oh.
So then he says, double down. Good stuff.
You always double down on 21, though. Tell him you always double down on 21.
11.
11, yeah.
11, sorry. Of course, you don't double down on 21.
That'd be crazy.
Dude, I need to watch that. I'm writing that on my list. I'm putting it at number 1 right now. It's been a long time since I've seen
Yeah, I haven't
Swingers.
seen that since.
That's the next Plotty Time watches.
Next group one for next year.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll just do Jon Favreau.
Well, did you know? Well, Jon Favreau's in Swingers, obviously. He directed it. He starred in it. Vince Vaughn, we all know him. But one of the other people of the group, the one dude who was going to work at Disney as Goofy, that's Mulaney. That's the same guy in this movie, in PCU.
The guy who was going to be Goofy is John Livingston.
Yeah, from.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. Yes, it's not John Livingston. It's when he's like, I got to roll with Disney. Like, really? It's like playing Goofy at the park. And then the dude that goes, at least it's Disney.
Yeah.
Charles is his name in the movie.
Who's he in this one?
He's the black dude with the dreads.
Oh, Mills.
Mills.
Okay.
I always call him Mulaney because that's what he's credited as.
Oh, yeah, I think that was his real name.
And then Heather Graham's in that too, Swingers.
Well, not his real name, but yeah.
And the guy who plays Sue, well, he's in other shit too, isn't he?
I don't know. We'll have to watch it.
Yeah, we have to
talk
watch
about
it.
But this was about PCU.
Yeah.
Port Charles University.
You don't know what it's like. You didn't grow up here in the streets. Anaheim.
It also got the great line like, it's Gretzky that's good. When they're playing fucking like Genesis hockey.
They're a fucking
yeah,
finesse team.
Look at his legs twitch. Look at his legs twitch.
When he unpauses it when he's up, yeah.
Oh, dude, there's a documentary on YouTube. It's almost an hour, I think. And it's just about NHL 94 and the making of that game. And they said that Swingers fucking blew it up,
Really?
which I thought was fantastic.
That's cool.
But that was one of the things that like really high kicked that franchise.
And you're still playing them today.
I know, right? I'm still same fucking lineage.
Same players.
Hey, man, I have been around since NHL PA 93. So
Yeah.
I've been there since the beginning. Before they had the
30
fucking
years
NHL.
ago.
Yeah, they couldn't call it NHL. They had to call it NHL PA because they didn't sign a thing with the NHL.
He was the Players
So
Association.
They did it with the Players Association so they could use the names and the stats and everything, but they didn't have the teams. So it wasn't the Minnesota North Stars. It was just you played Minnesota.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, they learned.
And then the success of that, the NHL's like, okay, maybe we'll put our name.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Swingers.
Thank you, Swingers. But
yeah, everybody go watch PCU.
Yeah, fucking A.
yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I think it holds up. It's fun to quote. Jeremy Piven, who I don't dislike as an actor.
No, I was trying to think of what else I saw him in other than Entourage.
I feel like I've seen him in a lot, and I've never seen Entourage. So
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
He was really great. The other movie I saw him in that I really liked was I just had it. Wait, Gross Point Blank.
Oh,
You remember he was John Cusack's buddy in that movie from high school?
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, and fucking
Gross Point Blank.
no, that movie I talked about, Judgment Night.
Yeah, he was in Judgment Night. That's right.
Yeah, that's another good
Yeah,
one.
he's been He's been working very steadily all throughout the 90s. He was in Black Hawk Down as the helicopter pilot.
Oh man, he was in The Player. I guess he was only in the back. Old School.
Oh yeah.
Rush Hour 2. Very Bad Things. Remember that one?
Oh wow, that's the one where they kill the prostitute.
The sex worker? Yes.
Well, at the time.
I suppose you're right. Oh, he was in Heat. I forgot about Heat. He played a very small role. He was just like a doctor that someone went to see. Yeah. So he got Judgment Night and then got his starring role in PCU. Good for him.
Yeah, it worked.
And you're right, he does have way more hair now.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's like, who are you kidding?
He was
But
born in 1965, which meant when they filmed this, yeah, he was probably like 28.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he was at college for 7 years.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, it's close. I always think it's like so ridiculous because he looks so much older
He really does. It's the
in
hair.
that movie than he does now. Like, have you seen? I'm looking at this trailer for a new movie that's just is it The Performance?
Yeah, he looks 30 now. He looked 35 in that movie, PCU.
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess if you
He looks great. Like,
you wanna
well, he's an
kid
actor.
yourself.
You gotta look good, I guess.
Yeah.
Won 3 primetime. All right, we're just reading Jeremy
Yeah,
Piven
yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna think of how
let's
to way
push
to
it
move
to
this
the
along.
end.
Yeah.
Let's get over it.
We'll be back with games soon.
yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit. No, wait. This is
probably the last episode.
yeah. This is
before
we're gonna have a fun episode next week that we still need to determine with myself and Chump Slap.
maybe.
Maybe you can cut this out if we
mean-
don't.
No, we'll do it. We'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll figure something out. I mean, we have a whole month,
And then
a
we'll be
half
back
figure it
to
out.
video games again. So start sending your ideas to Chump Slap so he has games to pick.
Yeah, no videos that are like 5 hours long though. Sorry, guys.
No, hold on. You're putting your work on them. You can just Google to see how long it is. Now you want them to Google it before they
Well,
send
they
you
can
their.
do some legwork.
Well, they should
know what
know.
they're getting into.
They should know if the story's way too in depth for me to fucking comprehend or go over.
They can't all be 20-minute videos.
Why not?
Tell you what, fans, the easier that story is to digest, the more likelihood we're going to go through it on this show.
Yeah, if you can keep it to an hour and a half, just like Google blank game name, game movie.
Doesn't matter. Send your things. Let's get out of here.
Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Go watch PCU. Same game ideas. Where do they go for sex work or something? I don't even remember what Pump Jumps.
Well,
No, go ahead. You're doing great.
Send me recipes or something.
Yeah, send them recipes to make about banana bread.
No, I was looking up recipes for eggnog fudge.
All right, yeah, do that. Where are they sending them to?
Send them to plottytime@gmail.com.
All right, yeah. And if you have a quick recipe, you can shoot us over at one of the socials on Instagram or Threads, and or stop by the Reddit. We'll have Chump Slap will make a thread about eggnog, whatever he's talking about.
Eggnog fudge? Come on, man.
Eggnog
that sounds
fudge.
amazing, doesn't it?
I fucking hate eggnog.
So do I. It's absolutely gross. You're right about some stuff, Poppascotch.
What, you guys, you hate
Olives
eggnog?
and eggnog, garbage.
You and I agree on more food than we do movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah. Me and Scotchy got the movies.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And that dichotomy is why our system works. It also works at our official Plotty Time store, plottytime.com, which takes you to our eBay store where you can buy stuff there.
Maybe
Or go to
there'll be a
YouTube.
wheat skin by now.
Oh, there will be.
I was also thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to do this, people. Don't hold it to me. But I remember doing 3 minisodes where I talked about cyberpunk. And I was thinking about turning those into like a YouTube video.
Do
Get
it.
something else on
Coward.
the channel.
Yeah.
That's so much work. And then I have to finish the story because I stopped reporting on that in like 2021. We'll see. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
But all right, let's go ahead and play this music. Where is it? Where's the button? Let me find it. Hold on.
Play us out.
Zach move. Oh, there's that button. There it is. But that does it for us. So as always, shout out to Blaine JJ, Drago the Slago, Gamers Little Playground, I am Panax, and Luis Guzman. Don't ever trust Dr. Scientists, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Peace. See you in season 6.